Hey everybody, it's me, Smitty, and this is the first course for putting the paint on the page. Today we are going to talk about opening lines. So no one's going to read your story or your book, your novel, whatever, if they can't get past the first line. That's what makes them see what your final sentence is going to be, is your opening one. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you guys like 10 of my favorite opening lines of books. And then I want, see you guys to come up with one. All right? Okay. So the first one, call me Ishmael. That's for Dick. And simple, but it sets it sets the tone that you're just like, okay, who's this guy Ishmael? So you want to read more about it. Okay. And two, happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. That's from Leo Tolstoy. Anna Karenina. It's a great opening line. And number three, it was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. That's from George Orwell's 1984. And that book is a great book, and was one of my favorites. It might have been up higher. These aren't in order like my favorites. These are just 10 of them. I don't know if one's one or not, but anyway, 4. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was a season of light, it was a season of darkness. It was a spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. Charles Dickens, A Tale from Two Cities. Now that is probably my favorite opening line ever. No, that's number 2. I'll get to the first one here soon. Okay. This is the saddest story I've ever heard. Fort Maddox, the good soldier. 6. Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life or whether that station will be held by anybody else, these pages must show. Charles Dickens, David Copperfield. Well, Charles Dickens, that dude's a bad motherfucker, man. You guys need to read him. Okay. Somewhere in La Mancha, there is a place okay, wait a second. Somewhere in La Mancha, there is a place who I do not care to remember. A gentleman lived not so long ago, one of those who has a lance and ancient shield on a shelf that keeps getting... I gotta get this written all messed up. It's from Don Quixote, from The Man of La Mancha. And it's somewhere in La Mancha, there's a place I do not care to remember. A gentleman lived not long ago, one of those who has a lance and shield on his shelf and he keeps a nag and a greyhound for racing. That's how it goes. And that's from Miguel de Cervantes, from Don Quixote, Man of La Mancha. This is a great one here. The sky above the port was the color of television tuned to a dead channel. That's from William Gibson's Neuromancer. This is another good one. Ships at a distance have every man's wishes on board. It's from Vladimir Nabokov from Pale Fire. And I think my all-time favorite line from a book is this. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. That's from Stephen King's The Gunslinger. That's a great line. And there are 7 books, I believe, in that series, the Dark Tower series. It's like 10,000 pages, and that's how it ends, too. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Fucking great, man. And so, I want you guys to come up with an opening line. Anything, it could be anything you want, you know what I mean? And put it in the comments. Post it in the comments, and I will, give you my, what I think of it, And I'm gonna come up with one here. I already thought about this a little bit, but I'm not just shooting this off the top of my head. But this is from the book I'm gonna be putting out soon. It is my hands were made for war, my mind for survival, my heart for loyalty, my dreams are of a peace that I do not know. I thought that was pretty deep. There was another one I thought was pretty good. Some people aren't worth killing, therefore I write. So, that's you guys' job is now. Is going to be to take, whatever you can think of, and put it in one sentence. Doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, as long as it makes sense to you. Okay? So, guys have a great day. This is Generation. I'm HC Smitty, and we're out.